shall we? Pokemon Go trainer battles and more coming up on today's episode of the latest in tech news. Hello and welcome to the latest in tech news. I'm your host, Taylor Merrick. This is the world's only 3-in-1 show on everything tech, gadgets, and gaming news. And if you're new here, welcome. Feel free to chat with us during the live show. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and make sure you click that follow button or the like button or something wherever it is so that you can be notified when we go live. And if you're tuning in via the podcast, tap that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the latest episode. But do keep in mind that the podcast is about a day behind. You really should be joining us live over at mixer.com/tech news gadget. And by the way, if you're happening to watch on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, be sure to hit that follow button there as well so that you can watch it there live. For the entire month of December, we are making this show available live on all 4 platforms, along with the videos to go along with each and every single one of them. So as a thank you and a way to I don't know, it's my Christmas present to you guys, so take with it as you will. And noob, yes, you didn't sadly win the giveaway, but somebody did, and that was a fun giveaway, was it not? I got a lot of really good information, feedback from you guys on that, a lot of entries, trying to figure out the best way to go about doing stuff tech news wise and disseminating the information out, because I know a lot of you like watching the live show. I know a lot of you like listening to the podcast of this, but there's a mixture that we have to kind of find. Keep in mind, I'm doing this part-time. I'm doing this on the side. I have a full-time job. I have a family and a kid to take care of as well, so I can't devote the time that I'd like to, as it were, if this was a full-time job. Yes, I am excited for Season 7 in Fortnite. Noob, I covered a little bit about it, I think a couple days ago, and yeah, we'll see what's coming. I do have some Fortnite news coming up though, so stay tuned for that. By the way, if you're looking to support this show, we do have insider membership, where you can go behind the scenes and obviously become part of the community. We call you guys gadgeteers here, or insiders. However, we're still trying to figure out the exact wording of the name, but essentially it's an exclusive title assigned to those who obviously like tech news. So if you're not able to support us financially, feel free to tell a friend. Feel free to obviously tune into the show. Visit the website, technewsgadget.net. Follow us on our social media profiles. Interact with us during the live shows. And outside of that, feel free to tell a friend. And there's something new I'm probably going to be starting in terms of how I want to have this show go, is I'm planning on doing shout-outs. So if you're a first-time listener or viewer, be sure to let us know either here on the live chat room or on Twitter at Tech News Gadget, and we're sure to give you a shout-out on the show. Obviously, if your name is a little bit iffy, we won't be able to say it on the stream or on the podcast, but otherwise we'll give you a very warm welcome indeed. So, I think that covers everything. Octavius is happy, chilling in the back. He tells me I totally flubbed it completely. I was supposed to do an intro in a different way. I don't know. This is what I get for doing a show on the fly. Apparently, I was supposed to start the show a half hour from now. Keep in mind, like I'm referring back to, this is a part-time gig, hobby thing that I do on the side. If this is a full-time gig bit, I'd be able to devote full-time energy to this. Not to mention, oh man, one of these days I would love to make it to CES and E3. Now, that can only happen with your support, so obviously keep that in mind. And obviously, once I get my head on straight, you guys will finally be able to make sense of what the heck I'm talking about. What am I talking about? It's a tech show. This isn't a gossip show. It is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have cool stuff going on today. Speaking of fun and cool, the hot gadget right now, the Whirlwind Vortex. Still testing that out. I'm really liking it. If you didn't see the show that I did 2 days ago, Monday's show, the show I did on the 3rd, go look back on it. We did a whole unboxing thing. I'm still going through the review process process of it. I'm still sending in questions to the developers of this gadget. Speaking of which, if there's a question that you have about the Whirlwind FX Vortex, be sure to let me know either on Twitter or the live chat room or on Facebook. Be sure to pass that information along to them. It's incredible, this gadget. You can actually feel the flame of the dragon breath breathing down upon you as you play your video game for conquest and glory and honor. And or you could just jump out of a bus from like 500 meters up in the air, parachute down, and while you're flying down to your landing zone, feel the wind blow through your hair, because you actually have the wind. It's the Whirlwind Vortex is the world's first environmental gaming simulator, so it's quite something. I'm impressed about. So I'm still going through the review on it, but let's get on to the tech news, shall we? Before we do, though, I just want to let you guys know that before we can get into the tech news of today, we always have to take a look back to see what happened today in tech history, being that today is December 5th, 2018. On this day in 1969, the University of Utah becomes the fourth node on the ARPANET network. This completed the planned original nodes on the experimental network that would eventually evolve into what we know now as the Internet. And the fourth one, obviously, was the University of Utah. They connected with the SRI, University, UC Santa Barbara, and UCLA, and that's how they're essentially trying to get the Internet going up. It started between that and the military stuff going on with servers and networking and everything. That's kind of what created the Internet as we know and love today. You're excited about Season 7, wish you could get the Battle Pass first day. Well, if you don't have any money, you're going to have to work for it. Speaking of working for money, some great ideas that I did personally back when I tried to figure out, well, how in the world can I make money? I went and I shoveled snow, being that it's winter. Shoveling snow is a great option if there's snow on the ground to be shoveled. I also raked leaves in the fall and cut grass. So there are options. Outside of that, usually what I try to do is sell popcorn. I know I came up with some cool, interesting, creative flavors. So kind of an entrepreneurial minded person that I am. Hopefully that suggestion passes on to you, and hopefully it's not too much to get the battle pass, but once you get that, you can just get your battle pass and stock up on that. I think for me, for season 6, the battle pass tier I made it to was like 90 or 91 3 or 4 years ago. Well, if you have other options or ideas on how to generate an income or start a side business of sorts, you could even, hey, here's an idea, you could even help somebody move. If they just need an extra person to help move or do grocery shopping for them, that could work out as a great option as well. Anyways, I'm giving out way too much advice. Let's get into the tech news today, shall we? Oh, hang on, I gotta close this. Here we go. All right, first up on the docket today, and I didn't want to do this one first. Okay, fine, whatever. Apple's new iPhones have an expensive, nasty surprise. Gosh, mounting evidence is currently suggesting that Apple iPhone XS, XS Max, and XR are not selling well despite price cuts. We already knew that the stock wasn't doing great, the manufacturers making the phones weren't having a great old time with it, and Apple's like, well, we kind of tried to price it correctly, but we're kind of having a problem here. What's going on? We already know the crowd-pleasing innovation Apple had planned to win users back, but it might not be enough after a major source has confirmed the most serious problem with the company's new iPhones. Bloomberg is reporting that Apple has fallen substantially behind its rivals and will not be able to equip iPhones with 5G until late 2020 at the earliest. This is an article tying into an article that I had mentioned on Monday's show, episode 71. And 5G is about to become a game changer. We're like literally 2019 and 2020 is going to be on the cusp in the explosion of 5G hitting the internet and increasing speed tenfold. Bloomberg sources are citing Apple's feud with chip giant Qualcomm as the most likely reason behind it, a conflict which has already forced Apple into an exclusive agreement with Intel and has been lagging behind Qualcomm's modern modem development for years. Well, apparently, the journalist for this article wrote about the potential impact this would have back in August, and the chickens are now coming home to roost. But why is missing out on 5G such a big deal? Well, in short, because 5G is the real deal. Like, you thought 4G was real, you thought LTE was real, 5G is where it is. Whereas Apple has previously chosen to lag behind rivals in adopting 3G, not until the iPhone 3GS, and 4G, not until the iPhone 5, this was because the carrier rollouts were slow with spotty coverage. By contrast, major networks around the world are rolling out 5G right now, and it is delivering dramatically faster speed, reliability, and signal coverage. In fact, 5G is so fast and reliable, it is expected to replace home broadband, and that changes the game for how we use and can expect from our phones. This is not a technology you bench for a few years, or you fall behind. 5G causes a further problem for Apple as well. When a company does eventually get 5G into its phone, the technology comes with higher licensing costs than 4G, which will further drive up prices. For rivals, this will be easier to swallow, but Apple is already under attack for excessive asking prices and additional ownership costs. So, what can Apple do about this? Not a whole lot. But they are trying to return a beloved iPhone feature into its next models. That being, if you don't know already, is the fingerprint scanner on the actual phone itself. They're trying to bring that back. Why they dropped it to begin with, to go to this weird camera sensing unlock feature. It's kind of cool, but really, I mean, people are okay. Now, if you did an eyeball scan, the retina scan, that would make a little bit more sense. If you did a fingerprint scan, that's kind of embedded because of movies and TV shows and culture and everything that we're used to. But I don't know, Apple. I think you guys are gonna have a nice rough ride for the next couple of years, seeing as how Samsung and Qualcomm are having a great old time of flinging money out the window along with smartphone and 5G to boot. Speaking of phones, Russian search giant Yandex is making phones now. Yep. After self-driving cars and smart speakers, Russian search engine giant Yandex is getting into smartphones. Its debut handset, fittingly titled Yandex Phone, is an entry-level Android device that's hooked up to its massive ecosystem, essentially meaning it comes preloaded with Yandex's software, including GPS, music, and weather apps. At the center of it all sits Alice, the company's virtual assistant, which now boasts 34,000 localized skills and can understand Russian with a near human-level accuracy. Alice can also help you find local businesses and service providers from Yandex's integrated business directory. The same database can identify unknown business callers or let you contact a business by searching for a name or service. It's no wonder Yandex has been dubbed the Russian Google. Like its US counterpart, the majority of its revenue comes from ads tied to search results, and it also has its fingers in almost as many pies as Alphabet. That's the parent company of Google, in case you didn't know. It further muscled in on Google's territory by launching its own Android App Store back in 2012, and last year Yandex finally leapfrogged Google to become Russia's top search engine on Android devices, having previously surpassed it on desktop. Now, phone-wise, the specs aren't all remarkable on the Yandex phone. It packs a 5.65-inch Full HD screen, runs on Android 8.1, and is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 630 processor. There's also a fingerprint sensor on the back and NFC tech for contactless payments. That's the whole everything that we're used to here with the whole Apple Pay and oh goodness, see, look, oh jeez. The camera setup includes dual rear 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel snappers and a 5 megapixel front camera. The Yandex phone will cost 17,990 rubles, 270 US, and will be available starting tomorrow at the Yandex store at the company's headquarters in Moscow. It will then arrive on Yandex's Beirut e-commerce site the following day, along with local retailers and via Russian carrier Beeline. Ah, man, and this just butts right into Apple. Poor iPhone. Well, I guess everybody's gonna get the Yandex phone. It has a fingerprint sensor. Gosh. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Speaking of a laugh, Facebook's top AI scientist says that it would be dust without artificial intelligence. No, you could just have real people do all the work. You don't need to have an artificial intelligence AI system behind the scenes running everything, do you, Big Brother? Ow, who's that? Oh, that was me. Okay. Without artificial intelligence, there wouldn't be much left of Facebook as we know it today, according to Yandex Phone, who founded Facebook's artificial intelligence research lab 5 years ago. And I can't speak, so I'll just let the article read itself and I won't say anything. Oh, sorry, you actually need me to read it. Okay, I'll read it then. If you take the deep learning out of Facebook today, Facebook would be dust. It's entirely built around it now. The technology is included in everything from the posts and translations you see in your newsfeed to advertisements. When Lee Soon established the lab, Facebook was already dabbling in deep learning, a type of machine learning he's worked on and championed since the 1980s. Obviously, we've come leaps and bounds since the 80s. Goodness, I was a baby back then. Deep learning software, modeled after the way neurons work in the brain, ingests loads of data and learns to make its own predictions. Back in 2013, a social network knew that AI would be a key part of its future, and like a number of other tech companies, it looked at deep learning specifically for classifying photos and for face recognition. While it appeared promising, it wasn't clear how useful it would be, but years later, aided by loads of data collected from users and increasingly powerful computers, the technology has improved rapidly. Facebook and other companies such as Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are using it for many different things, such as tagging people in photos and enabling virtual assistants to tell you the weather. Lee Soon said the social network in particular couldn't function today without deep learning. It's used absolutely everywhere, he said. This is true not just of what users can see, but what they may not see. Deep learning aids Facebook's content filtering too and helps remove things like hate speech from the social network. But Facebook's AI efforts have been met with criticism. For example, the company is turning to AI to help alert human moderators to hate speech shared on the platform, but plenty of these posts are still slipping through cracks of the system. While deep learning and other AI methods are evolving, it could take years for AI to excel at moderating content. Obviously, it's going to take some time. Okay, here's my thought on it. Let the AI work. Obviously, don't let it run amok, or we're going to be coming head-to-head with Terminator 2. But, rein it in where it needs to be. Keep an eye on it, but don't... Seriously, okay, here's where I'm going to get a little bit off the beaten path. Don't let it go political. Don't let it be based on government regulating stuff too heavily. Don't let it be regulated on the toxicity of the internet, as is always the case. They're crying out loud, there's trolls anywhere. But obviously do keep an eye out for real threats that do need to be monitored. But outside of that, AI is turning out to be very promising. So seriously, don't throw it all off to the side. As you can see, it's kind of an integral part of Facebook, but it's a powerful tool when used correctly. So please don't throw it out the window, Mark. You'll shoot yourself in the foot. Sure, it can beat humans at games like Go, but we're still far from creating what's known as artificial general intelligence. Obviously, this type of AI can do human-like tasks and has enough common sense to help out in daily life rather than just performing fairly scripted tasks like Amazon's Alexa does today. The desire to dominate is not correlated with intelligence, he said. In fact, we have many examples of this in the world. It's not the smartest of us that necessarily wants to be the chief. So, there you have it from Yandex Phone, head of artificial intelligence research at Facebook. Talking about AI taking over the world, well, apparently a plant Cyborg is able to move itself to a preferred light source. Nope, I'm not making this up. If you're listening to the podcast of this, you're totally missing out on the video that's going along with this. If you want to watch the video, head on over to technewsgadget.net, or feel free to follow us on our social media profiles. A replay of this will be up on Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Tech News Gadget on all of those platforms. Let's actually jump into this. A team of researchers at the MIT Media Lab has built a cyborg that combines a plant with electronics and ultimately allows the plant to choose when it would like to move to a brighter spot. The cyborg is the brainchild of team leader Hapri Sareen, and he has named it Aloan. Plants have the ability to detect light. Now, if you watch really carefully, for example, you can actually see a sunflower move to face directly into the sun as it moves across the sky. And if you haven't seen that in the whole slow stop motion or the long time elapsed photos of plants, apparently you're living under a rock, in which case you're a rock dweller. It pays to get out sometime. I'm just saying, this is kind of cool stuff to do here. Prior research has shown that plants have many natural sensors and response systems and respond to humidity and temperature levels as well, or the amount of water in the soil in which they are planted. In this new effort, the researchers sought to give one plant more autonomy by putting its potted base on wheels fitted with electronics and an electric motor. The idea is reasonably simple. Place sensors that listen to the electrical signals generated by a plant and then convert those signals to commands carried out by the motorized wheels. The result is a plant that can respond to changes in light direction by moving itself closer to the source. Interesting. Researchers proved this by placing a Cyborg between two table lamps and then turned them on or off. The plant moved itself with no prodding, no string, no person pushing it in the background toward the light that was turned on. The work was not meant as a project to make plants happier by giving them more autonomy. Instead, it was geared toward harnessing the processing power of nature. For example, Eloan could be modified in a way that allows it to move solar panels on a house to make sure they get the best sunlight angle possible, or office plants outfitted with sensors and controllers to ensure temperature and humidity levels are optimized not just for the plant, but for the workers sharing the space. The team is planning to continue its research, hoping to capture the natural processing power of plants to create hybrid devices that might benefit humans in a variety of ways. Oh look, there's a video that goes along with it. Well, we don't have time to watch the video, but I'll have this in the show notes for episode 72 of the latest in tech news. Head on over to technewsgadget.net, or if you're listening to this in the podcast, it should be right there in the title. Simply tap it, it'll open up the article for you, and you should be able to click play on the YouTube video. Alright, now we get into our gaming news of today, and first off the bat, more Fortnite news. Rapper 2 Milli is currently suing Epic Games for stealing his dance. Now, in case you guys don't know, or you still living under a rock, why do I keep making rock references? It's not even funny anymore. I'm sure it's discriminating against the rocks. Merry Christmas. Okay, we're gonna put that off to later. Because, I don't know, I'm probably on rocky ground right now, probably thin ice, it's probably going to crack up a little bit. Or I could just keep going with the jokes, in which case I'll be on a roll. And, okay, yeah, I can tell it's not working. So, apparently, rapper 2 Milli is suing the makers of Fortnite, Epic Games, for selling his signature Milli rock dance as an emote called Swipe It. Pierce Brainbridge, the law firm representing 2 Milli, filed a complaint in the Central District Court of California today, accusing Epic of, among other things, copyright infringement and exploiting African-American talent for profit in the game. Okay, I'm not going to go into this a little bit. Let me rephrase. I'm only going into this article a little bit, because if I do any more, it starts getting really stupid. Okay, essentially the Milli Rock dance was first introduced into Fortnite as part of its Season 5 Battle Pass, which came out in July. The dance, which was popularized in 2 Milli's 2014 song by the same name, was rebranded as Swipe It and given to players who purchased a roughly $10 Battle Pass and reached its Tier 63 reward. 2 Milli told Kotaku in an email at the time that he felt like his dance had been stolen and that he wished Epic had approached him about using the dance before it was added to Fortnite. He's now suing the company for damages and to have the emote removed from the game. Basically because he wasn't compensated by Epic Games for the use of the Milli Rock dance. They never even asked for my permission. So I'm happy to have a law firm representing me to help right this wrong. Now, it's unclear whether today's lawsuit will go anywhere, but if it does, it could have big consequences not just for Fortnite, which has been copying and selling dance moves from lots of artists, but other games that also sell dance emotes. Do we have to go worry about licensing now? I thought you guys liked this free advertising. Now you want money from it? Oh my gosh. So in case you're wondering what the Swipe It dance was, here it is on the screen. Now you know. Now you know. So, dance while you still can, because it may or may not be removed depending on how this lawsuit goes. Apparently when you're popular and you're making all the money, everybody else gets jealous and then they want a piece of the pie. That's what I think's going on here. That's what I think. I thought the publicity was great. If that was the case, I would love to see this entirely backfire on the dude, in which case we're just going to say, well, fine. And then, but if icing on the cake would be Epic Games then removing the dance entirely anyways, to which they'll say, yeah, see? screw it. It's just a dance, for crying out loud. But keep in mind that it is copyrighted material, so maybe it'll help be careful in things that are added to the game down the road. I thought dances were fine. I don't really mind. That's what I said. Free publicity. If it's free publicity, it's probably good. Why would it be considered a bad thing? Anyways, that's as far as today's rant gonna go before I actually, like, flip out and lose my mind. Alright, final article for today, and today's feature story is the Pokemon Go Trainer Battles. Now, it's a new update that has just been introduced, if not rolling out very soon to Pokemon Go. We have a guide that goes along with it, which is titled How to Fight Your Friends and Choose a League. In a good way, of course. In a video game, why would you want to actually really fight your friends? You don't want to do that, no, because that's not fun. Pokemon Go has introduced PvP with trainer battles, finally allowing players to compete against one another both locally and online. Not only can they fight each other one-on-one, but trainer battles introduce competitive trainer leagues as well, so that Pokemon Masters can truly be named the latest and greatest of them all. It's a huge chance to a game that sorely needed multiplayer in the years since launch. Well, it's been a multiplayer game, but it's taken them forever to try and roll out this stuff. But I think that they're doing it in good reason. They don't want to introduce all of this stuff and then have everybody go, well, if it has all this stuff, it's not fun anymore. You know, tantalize it, tease them with it for a while, and then when you actually have all your ducks in a row, then bring it out. I mean, that's kind of what Blizzard Games is known for with World of Warcraft, is they tease it out a little bit, and then they release a new one. And then they tease it out a little bit more, and then they tease a new one. Because you need new content, and you need to keep going. Otherwise, people are going to find something else to entertain themselves with. So, now we get into some Q&A. First up, what actually are trainer battles in Pokemon Go? Trainer battles are one-on-one fights, either pitting a player against another player, local trainer, or letting two friends compete online. Now, how can you battle your friends online? Well, first, players have to be Ultra Friends or Best Friends, the highest two tiers of friendship, in order to send each other invites to battle through the friends list. You cannot remotely battle against anybody good, great, or below. Now, how exactly do you battle people locally? To battle another player in person, you have to be part of the same trainer league, which will be covered a little bit later. More importantly, you have to swap battle codes. These are separate from the trainer codes used to add people to your friends list. Instead, battle codes are unique QR codes that a player must scan in order to send a battle invitation to another. Battle codes are assigned to all players automatically and can be found in the battle menus. So if you want to battle, you need to battle code, it's another QR code, and it makes sense that you have to be right there to, scan it and do that. So, what about the battles themselves? How do PvP battles play out in Pokemon Go? Well, the trainer battles involve two players, each with a set of 3 Pokemon. Not 6. I know, it's weird, but it's 3. Players can customize their battle party ahead of time and then select it once the battle begins. Players select which Pokemon to use and then send them out to fight against one another in real time. Battles are not turn-based. Players can switch between their 3 Pokemon as they like, kind of like how you currently do gym battles and raid battles currently, although a cooldown timer prevents them from constantly swapping between their party. As you can see on the screen, there's a little bit different setup here. You have actually 2 abilities and the ability to swap out. Kind of interesting. Battles last a maximum of 4 minutes, and the winner is named either when their opponent is out of usable Pokemon or after that timer runs out. If both players have at least 1 Pokemon remaining, the game will break the tie by awarding the player whose team has more health remaining. Makes sense. Pokemon battles otherwise work much the same way they do for raid battles and gyms. You tap the screen or hold it down to perform fast attacks and charge attacks respectively. But in trainer battles, Pokemon have 2 different charge attacks to choose from, although that second charge attack must be unlocked. Not really clear or sure how this second attack works or how it's unlocked, or if it's a permanent unlock or just for this battle. Didn't exactly tell us here. Players can also use a Protect Shield ability to better defend against anticipated stronger moves. Now, what rewards do you get when you win a trainer battle? Well, first things first, both trainers get a prize after a battle, usually consisting of candy, stardust, and rare items like a Sinnoh Stone. So in a way, you're both winners, but in another, more accurate sense, only one of them is truly the better Pokemon trainer, and their only extra prize is a chance to gloat in the fact that you won the battle. Battling against friends also increases the friendship level between the two. Ironically enough, So please, guys, if you happen to lose a battle in Pokemon Go, don't go punch your friend's lights out, because that's not going to be good. That might increase the friendship level on the video game, but it's not going to do anything good for you guys in real life. So I highly warn against that. Now, is there a limit to the number of trainer battles that you can participate in daily? No, there isn't. Although you can only receive rewards from trainer battles up to 3 times a day. So you can have multiple battles, but you can only get rewards from 3 of those battles per day. What about Pokemon? Are there any that are restricted? You can use, get this, any Pokemon, including legendaries, except, and here's a big except, for Ditto and Shed Ninja. So those are the only 2 you can't use. What about playing against NPCs? Are there single player trainer battles? Yes, ironically enough there is. Although, not ironically enough, because it's supposed to. If you'd like to level up your teams before taking on your friends or other locals, the solo training mode is the place to go. The team captains, Blanche, Candela, and Spark, make themselves available for players to battle against, so they may train up as often as they'd like without having to find another person to play with. These are referred to as a team leader battle and are available on an unlimited basis. However, you will only receive 1 award a day from them. However, so here's another picture. You see the Master League, max CP per Pokemon, no limit, and gym raids. So, what are these trainer leagues that we're talking about? Well, there are 3 tiers which players must select in order to participate in trainer battles. Each comes with a limit on a Pokemon's power so that players can anticipate how strong the other's player is going to be. The 3 leagues are the Great League, with a combat power maximum set at 1500, Ultra League with a combat power maximum set at 2500, and Master League with no combat power maximum. Players can only battle against other trainers in their league, which Niantic says is to, quote, ensure an even playing field. So, final question, are there leagues or tournaments like in traditional Pokemon games? No, although Niantic said it encourages players to come up with their own unofficial tournaments. For now, you'll have to depend on your fellow local trainers to determine who is the best of them all. Or YouTube streamer, or Twitch streamer, or Mixer streamer, however you'd be able to integrate Pokemon Go and the game category there on the system and have it connected with your phone and do tournaments and leagues that way. So, there you have it. All the latest for the Pokemon Go trainer battles and more. Are you the best of the best? Well, now you get your chance to best your best Pokemon against other players in your league and see who is the best of them all. Okay, that's too many times I've used best. Octavius, could you strike that from the record? I can't say best more than... I keep saying it! Okay, that's it. So, with that being said, that brings us to the end of today's show. By the way, if there's something that we missed talking about today or something that you want us to keep you informed on, be sure to let us know in either the live chat or on Twitter. Hey, don't forget, if you're a first-time listener or new listener here, to let us know either on Twitter at TechNewsGadget or send me an email, technewsgadget@gmail.com, subject line new listener, and let me know. I'd love to give you guys a shout out on the next show, so be sure to do that. That will do it for this episode of the latest in tech news. I'm your host, Taylor Merrick. For the latest in tech, gadget, and gaming news, be sure to head on over to technewsgadget.net. Pretty much keep being awesome, guys, and I'll see you on the flip side. I did it! What, are you laughing at me? What's going on over here? Oh man. So the wife's watching a funny YouTube video. So yeah, so that was today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a shorter show than usual, and if you're tuning in right now to watch today's show, it's off, but the podcast I try to get out best I can. Either case, I'm still rethinking a lot of things about how I want this show to go, how the show's supposed to go. But obviously, I'm always open to your input. You gave a lot of great input over last month's giveaway. I had questions and a multiple choice Q&A things going on in there, and you guys have been a great help so far. I've always tried to do the best at giving you guys the best information and make it fun, make it enjoyable. I don't seem to be the one best at video games, ironically enough. And that's something I'm figuring out. I'm not great at video games. Never have been. Probably never will be. Even if you give me the opportunity and a chance to play video games 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, every single day, maybe, perchance, I might possibly get good, as Ninja likes to say time and time again in the stream. But then again, I've never really entered a professional league or tournament or team, so obviously I have none of that under my belt either. Not to mention the fact that I'm probably too old to qualify for a team anyways. My prime years are behind me. I know, apparently I missed out on this, but you guys have great opportunity too, if that's something that you see a desire or excitement behind. So, I seem to be the guy who runs a tech blog and a live show and a podcast and just has fun chatting with you guys about the latest tech news, the latest gadget going on. Speaking of which, that Whirlwind FX Vortex, I'm going to be testing out the remaining of this week. I think next week as well. I still have to get some information back from the developer of the gadget to find out more specific details, but I'm liking it so far, so it should either be like the end of this week or the beginning of next week or the end of next week when I'll be posting the review there, as well as whenever I'm able to get the questions back from Whirlwind Effects about the Vortex. By the way, if you have any questions that you want me to pass on to them, be sure to let me know within the next couple of days or so that I could get that information out to them. So I'm always excited to see what you guys are interested in knowing and talking about and having fun, exploring. I don't know. I have this nice happy medium of like video games and gadgets and tech news. And apparently there's a lot of clapping going on in the background. I thought that was static. So I have this happy medium of cool stuff that I like to find out and know more about. So that seems to be what I do best. So I'm burned out. I'm tired. I still have a family to take care of and a baby to take care of, and St. Nick to prepare for. By the way, for you guys in the States or wherever you might be, if you celebrate St. Nick Day, that happens tomorrow, but St. Nick comes tonight, so gotta get ready for that. New tradition for my daughter. First one of the year, along with her first Christmas coming up. She already had her first Thanksgiving and promptly threw up all of her clothes. No, she didn't. She's fine. Yeah, a lot of firsts in the family, and obviously being first-time parents, and you're tired half the time, and you wake up at 6 in the morning going, oh, why is she? Ironically, she sleeps the entire night. It's just right when it gets to that like half hour before she's technically supposed to wake up, she likes to wake herself up and then drive us nuts, and we're like, just sleep another half hour, for crying out loud. That's babies for you. Some I'm figuring out quite well. So with that, I will bid you guys adieu and good night, farewell. We should be back tomorrow, same scheduled time. I'll let you guys know. The best way to find out if the show is happening or when the show is happening is to follow us on Twitter at TechNewsGadget, or you could follow us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Mixer, and it'll give you the notification when you go live as well. So if you haven't done that already, do that, and you'll know when you go live, and you won't miss out on the latest and greatest tech news, because then you'll be here watching it live along with the rest of us instead of tuning in a day later to find out what tech news happened today. So have a good one, guys. I'll see you on the flip side.